There you go.
No, Harvey.
Harvey, no. Harvey's a dummy.
I think this week I should get some sunscreen for when we go on our walks.
You do that.
We want to protect our skin.
You do that.
Well, it's not just me.
You do that. You do that, babe.
Da, 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 da,
You're live, by the way.
da, da,
Hey.
da, 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 da,
Hey.
da. Yes, I hear you.
Did you just delete your game?
No,
Yep.
I did not.
Yep. You gotta let your friends know. What happened?
God, you devil. Harvey!
What happened?
I gave him part of a corn fritter.
Knew it.
He's a devil.
Can't trust you.
He's a devil.
Can't trust you.
What?
Oh wait, I should probably test on how well you sound. Where is my tablet? Oh,
Oh, corn fritters. They're delicious.
they're delicious.
Hmm.
Your face.
So now we're playing as Zach.
The black guy, huh?
Yep.
Is that his apartment? Nice.
Yeah. I know. It's got a nice, great place. Like, well, I think it looks better because it's not as messy as Bella's.
Sound better?
Yeah. Sounds good. Oh, people can put little hearts now. That's amazing. It takes a few moments for everything to fall into place, for my eyes to adjust into the relative darkness of the room. Despite the pleasant chill of the AC, my shirt is clinging tightly to me and my blanket a tangled mess around my throat. Jeez.
That sounds terrifying.
Morning has not even arrived, and yet...
Oh,
Way too early for this thing.
Way too early for this thing, man? Wait. Is he not talking? And too long. Too long since the last I've woken up drenched in my own sweat, head littered with thoughts that are gone as soon as I open my eyes.
oh my god, yes.
All too often, only imprints and brief images are left to haunt me for the rest of the day, or until my mind forgets about it. Egad, whichever comes first. Yet vivid or not, what
Sucks.
little I can remember does not matter. Regardless, the desperation sticks, clawing up, pushing, urging me to relive every moment, every sensation, and
Sound great, sweetie.
isn't there gonna be an echo now?
I don't think so.
Okay. There's a twinkle in Ma's eyes when she looks up from her work, flour dusting her nose and cheeks.
Yeah.
The
Till we get-
scent.
Sorry.
What, dear?
Till we get another mic that's just as good as that one,
Okay.
you should use this one for your solos.
Okay. The scent of freshly baked bread wafts from the
Sound
oven.
Great.
Okay. As soon as Pa opens it, and the homely fragrance of honey fills the room. Oh, now I want tea with honey and lemon. Honey and lemon tea. He reaches up to wipe the small beads of sweat away from his forehead before gesturing for me to come to cheer the moment, to come closer the moment he spots me on my little hiding place behind the door. I expect him to be angry, but he pats my back when I come within his arm's reach is encouraging enough. We'll have to taste these first before we put it up for sale tomorrow. You up for it, little man? Is it good enough? Again, I swear I'm getting...
I know, you need ice.
I'm getting my eyes checked, I swear, on the 24th.
Her stream's downfall. She needed glasses.
A knock cuts through the air before I can answer. Sharp. What? Sharp. Heavy, demanding, familiar. So... What? Janet? What? So distinctly familiar?
They're so hollowed.
Well, I'm sorry. I put him in at 2. There's nothing I can do, especially since somebody put him in empty.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm not an ice connoisseur like you.
You don't put empty ice trays back.
But I
Empty.
don't use the ice either, darling.
Oh my God! You don't put the trays back empty. Somebody help me out here. Comment below. Do you actually like put in empty ice trays? Just to be that.
Comment below.
Comment below. Just so you can be that guy.
I haven't told the Discord channels about this.
Hmm?
I haven't told the Discord channels about this.
Okay, fine. Bye bye.
You want me to?
What? Oh, you did or didn't?
If not, do you want me to?
You can. They can't. They can't get in, can they?
No, you're not in Discord. Do you want to be in?
No.
Do you want to have a problem? I can get the problem.
I'm sure this will be...
Is that syrup?
No, it's actually blueberry bourbon sauce. You want to try it?
No, it's alcohol.
Just try a little boop of it.
No.
It's a boop.
No.
Oh my God. So Jacob's like not ever gonna touch...
Ways. What are you, a succubus?
What? Because I like... because I got these for you because I didn't realize you were gonna go on a diet between when I left and when I came home.
I'm getting fat. I need a diet.
Both of us are getting fat. There's never a problem.
It is a problem now.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're going to war on obesity. It's time to
Ma
put all the
ushers
fat
me
people
out of
on
the
a
kitchen
ship.
when Pa moves to answer it. But I know what waits outside. The taste of blood in my mouth sends an unpleasant churning in my gut.
Why is it blood in this?
Ma's apron crinkles under my tight grip. Something snaps back into place. My bed remains in an utter disarray. The walls still need a new paint job, and the wall clock ticking opposite of my bed is unsettling as ever. Yeah, looks like it's looks like it's only midnight. Good for you. Good for you getting to bed on time. I want cookie. I have corn fritters. Oh my God, so good. I love corn fritters. I don't care what anyone says. With this honey, not honey, it's this blueberry bourbon sauce. Oh my God, so good. Ash is right. I should have already replaced that when I had the chance.
You're no longer there, Zachary. Here and there, are miles apart. Calm down. Breathe.
Hey, what is up with the sound? Hey, Jacob?
What?
I can't actually hear anything.
The dog wreck it? Again?
I don't know, because, like, Zachary's talking, but I can't hear it. I can't hear any music.
Oh, you have this little dick who's going down there and
Harvey!
screwing things up for you. I'm sorry, he is.
He's my son.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you. How about now?
Is it supposed to be?
Okay.
Like.
So do you hear? Do you hear this? Coming out of your mic. Do you hear that?
No.
So what is this?
I hear nothing. For I see nothing and feel nothing.
Okay, give me this. Now try it.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Now.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Thank you, God.
The pressure of my own fingers against my temple is a welcome sensation over the anxiety gripping me. Oh, wait. No, I can't.
Oh my God, what's wrong now?
All I hear is kind of static. No, here, like, you can listen to it. I'm sorry. What did I do wrong? You can listen to it. I don't know, whatever.
Try it now.
I still hear kind of the same. Oh, God. Okay, phew.
Is it working now?
I think somebody knocked on the door on this. Okay, I think this is fine.
You mean that it sounds like air?
Yeah.
It could be that ambient noise,
Oh.
or just wind. We don't really have a pop filter or sound phone.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Oh wow, that's really loud.
Yeah. So basically Ash is showing up. Oh wait, it's no time opening the latches.
Isabella.
Oh,
It's
I
late.
guess not. It's Isabella. There's something I can't quite pinpoint in her eyes when she looks up. Her face a pallid shade, shoulders tears, breathing heavily, and an uncomfortable shaking in her hands she's trying to hold back.
Is he fantasizing?
No?
Is he fantasy about a white girl?
She's not white, she's Filipino, you fool.
Is he fantasizing about a Filipino girl?
I don't ask questions.
I don't see color. Unless it's black.
You're a boob, get out of here. Hide if I didn't know any better.
Hey, Zach. Sorry, I know it's weird for me to show up at this hour, but you are the closest to my office, and...
No. It's perfectly fine. I'm not really working on anything right now. Do you want to come in?
Is it all right? I know you should be sleeping at this hour, but I thought... I'm sorry, I just thought...
Bella, spit it out.
I have no idea why I went here. My feet just moved on their own after I got out of the office, and... Sorry.
She trails off, her voice lost in the muggy night air. I want for her to say more, but instead her only response is a downward shift of her gaze back to her still trembling hands. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So sorry. Those trembling hands. As if the motion alone is enough of an explanation. A minuscule gesture. Easy to miss if one is not paying attention. Oh my god, if you knock over my stuff, I'm gonna get so mad, doggies. Get out of here. Scoot. 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 Oh, scoot. Huh? So I'm looking at these new dice earrings I got, and like, I said water lily because I thought it was supposed to be blue and green, and so it's like purple and green, but it's really cute. Oh. Harvard. Get out of here. But for someone who has seen the same expression in the mirror, done the same thing too many times when night terrors are inevitable, it's not.
Hey, don't worry about it. At least you knocked.
Yeah, that's right. I think Ash
Just barges
yeah.
in and crashes on the couch whenever he feels like it.
Oh, God.
I swear that guy is one fine hairline away from being a criminal.
He's an undercover agent. I don't know. He probably just like what is the equivalence over there? He works for not what is it? Who is Bond work for?
Besides, you already know you can count on me whenever.
Oh, I don't. Oh, he's so adorable. Let's see. Doesn't act like anything's like really happening with that. So, Luke, he already doesn't have a great relationship. Becca's like, eh. Ash is fine. Isabella's great. Hannah's great. Cool. Without waiting for an answer, I step away from the door and saunter over the kitchenette. For a few good seconds, only the clinking of the plates can be heard above the constant tick-tock. Oh, everyone's not watching anymore. Oh well. Late as it might be for a snack, the familiar motions keep me occupied, steering my mind away from the dangerous thoughts. Isabella's company is not unwelcomed either. Whatever her reason for her showing up here at such an hour doesn't matter. I'll be damned if I just turn her away, frazzled as she is. The door clicks behind her when she finally enters, feet scuffling softly against the tiled floor. In all the years I've known her, she has never once lost her ever upbeat spirit. Yet, in this particular moment, as she stands in my doorway, holding her arms close to herself, it's as if I'm looking at someone completely withdrawn from the person I've come to know all these years.
Do you want to drink or eat anything? I haven't restocked my food stash yet, so ingredients may be a bit limited. But I'm sure I can whip something up with what I have here.
Just give her a
Just
cuppa.
water will do, please. Thanks, Zach.
What? No additional food requests? That's new. I'll put something together for you anyway. Hey,
Woman
feel
said
free to make
no.
yourself at home. You ain't exactly a new visitor here. Although my room's not at its most presentable right now. Sorry. New freelance gigs and such.
Fair enough.
Didn't have time to fix things up here lately.
Aww.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Usually, she'd have something more to say about that. A quip, a witty remark to provoke a laughter or two. Nothing from her this time. Only a weak smile before she takes a seat on the couch, and in a silence that stretches out until what we left hanging feels disconnected. God, these sentences are so weird, and they're just run-on fucking sentences. It drives me crazy. Before everything turns stifling and awkward, I continue talking, if only to keep the dead air at bay. How's one supposed to keep a conversation going when the person you're talking to is like this?
Anyway, gigs. Can you believe this one client we got? Boss had all my scheduled shoots shifted after they caught wind of this couple buying a new property.
Oh my God.
Man, must be nice to have all the money in the world.
Amen, brother.
World itself moves for you, huh?
She curled up on one side of the couch and hugging her knees close when I bring her a tray carrying the sandwich and the water she requested. She starts to straighten up as I'm unloading the contents, but pauses as soon as I hold up my hand in a halting gesture.
You're a guest. Didn't I say you're free to make yourself at home?
Oh, he's sweet.
Here's your water. Careful.
The tremor in her hands, though lighter now, still hasn't subsided when she reaches out for the glass. I give her a questioning look, but she is quick to avert her eyes, keeping herself occupied by taking small gulps of water. Or maybe she just doesn't want me asking questions. Worrying. The sudden loss for words, the bout of quiet and normal present in our chats. Even the creaking of the old chair where I casually take a seat is a welcome break. Oh my God, sorry, my contacts are like going in and out. My apologies. Although the company is familiar, this has gone way past unnerving.
What happened? Overtime at work?
She doesn't answer immediately. Another gulp drains her glass of its remaining contents. One would think it would be enough to help her recover, yet she doesn't lose her taut grip on the glass as she cradles it on her lap. Again, I apologize, my contacts. Her eyes take an unfocused gaze when she speaks again.
Yeah. Boss handed me extra work today. After what happened.
Like at his house at night.
Yeah, she just showed up randomly. Like, I thought it was gonna be Ash, because I guess he just shows up with no forewarning and just, you know, kind of is there.
It's kind of weird.
To Rose.
Forward of Isabel.
Rose.
She just wants that.
Why do I feel like you've mentioned her before? Sorry, I'm better with remembering faces than names.
Hey,
She was my coworker.
This has no caffeine in it, right?
Mm-mm.
Like water.
No sugar, no caffeine.
Yeah, he posted it to
That will take some getting used to. I was just talking to her the other day.
He peaked at 9.
Was?
I had 9?
Yeah.
That's news to me. Over here, it's been like 1, 2, and 3.
Did she resign or something? I think I'm missing a few details here, Bella.
Yeah, he is.
You've never met her. I think I did mention her once or twice.
The character is.
Oh, because they're talking.
Yeah, it's a very talky
Doesn't
one.
matter.
It's a
You
graphic
probably heard her
novel
name recently
game.
from the news than me.
It's like a bad time.
Something clicks then. A little memory from the night before. The bright red light from the dark room. The strong odor of a
Motion CGI
Stop
puppet master
bath?
man.
the television's barely audible murmur in the background, and in a glimpse of a bloody room. The news is everywhere, even in the morning that follows. I just didn't think its effects will strike someone this close to me.
Oh. Damn. I didn't mean to bring that up.
No, like I said, it'll take some getting used to, but it'll get better. I hope it will.
I guess.
Things might become a little busier for me, though. She left a lot of things unfinished, and I'm one of the few people in the office who knows how she works.
Just hand it to another realtor.
Ross thinks the transition will be easier if I handle it.
That explains it. Well, just don't forget you still need rest. Even the most hard-working people I know don't keep hours as late as this. Hell, the subway stopped running hours ago. Crime rate might be lower here than most places, but that doesn't mean you can walk around freely in the middle of the night.
I mean, it's true.
It's just for today.
Still a good thing you dropped by here first. I'm not just about to let you walk out here alone, especially not in the middle of the night. Who knows what else could happen? I'm not saying you should go right now, but I could accompany you home if you...
No! Wait, please!
What? She's so fucking crazy. The vehement, excuse me, tension in her voice makes me pause, and it is in this instant the mask she has been keeping up falls apart, if only for a short while. Right there and then, I understand what's hiding behind her unfocused stare for the moment she arrived. Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. It's disturbing to see such marring her usual upbeat countenance. Oh God, I'm such a bad reader. Excuse me. With a sigh, I cross the small distance separating us and kneel in front of her. I guess that gets you at eye level. She doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself smaller against the couch is telling enough.
Bella, this ain't just about your coworker, is it? What is it really about? I'm all ears.
Ah! The sound of glass shattering rents through the air as soon as her hold on it loosens. In the span of a few seconds, her breathing grows labored.
I don't know anymore.
She claps her hands over her ears, pressing it tightly against the sides of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each and every word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please, please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now. I can't shake it off. Everywhere's not safe and...
Alright, Isabella. Look at me. Look at me.
Oh, God. My hands are firm on her shoulders as I pull her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close, too similar.
Breathe. Breathe. You're safe here. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Stay in the present. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. You wanna talk about it?
No. Oh. Oh, wow. I was right. No. The force with which she shakes her head is enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please, no more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Bitch, you're gonna remember it in your sleep.
Kate, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much. We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while?
Oh my God. She nods lightly before retreating into herself again. No more words are exchanged after that, and I can take that as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the floor before either one of us gets hurt. My goodness. See, here's the thing. I feel like this game has so many unnecessary details. Like, I just don't give a shit. Sorry. The quiet hum of the AC is a pleasant distraction as I go over the menial task. More than her ragged draws of breath or my little feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two, but the latter does the trick. And soon enough, she has already drifted off by the time I return with the promised glass of water, her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm, this strain of her shoulders gone. Nobody cares. Frankly, I've never seen her this still. That's a little creepy. Maybe we don't say things like that. She mumbles something I don't quite catch as I carry her to the empty bed and she hugs herself against the mess of blankets. In spite of the fact she appears relaxed, the small frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. But for her sake, I hope it won't stay long with her. Because no matter what promises I've made, this is a kind of fear no person could shield from her. I should know. There's still questions left to be answered. But at this late hour, coupled with a sudden exhaustion, make my old couch a more comfortable bed than it typically is. Oh my God, I have to go through another dream. I'm getting so mad. Okay, darkness immediately welcomes me as soon as my head hits the makeshift pillow. I can only wish the dreams will keep at a distance for now, for both of us. Okay, so next day, the first few notes, while muffled, are enough to wake me. It's probably Ash. At the end, it becomes one of those nights where sleep passes like a blink and is plagued with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I lift a hand to rub away the drowsiness from my eyes, although it doesn't seem to relieve the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peek over the horizon, but the night has already given way to the cool morning light, washing everything in a subtle gray hues. At this hour... Hello, Juniper! How are you? At this hour, the entire city remains something. Sorry, I don't care. Jeez. That fucking noise drives me nuts. That's the thing. They won't let you continue until you read all this bullshit. Ordinarily, waking up before my own alarm means abusing the snooze button twice or thrice just to catch those precious few extra minutes of sleep. But the persistent ringing has made it impossible now.
This better be good.
It's probably Ash. Is the washer still going? Groggily, I scramble for the bag sitting at the foot of the bed. That is Ash. The ringing still hasn't stopped as I fish the phone out, and Ash's name flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Must be pretty urgent if he hasn't dropped the call yet.
Took you long enough, Z-Man.
My God, why are you here?
Ashton, it's 6 in the morning. Sun hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake
we missed
yet.
you too, Juniper. Always thinking of you. Stupid
Stop
Ash.
calling me Z-Man.
Now.
It's 20 past 6, Zach.
Oh my God.
What?
So funny story. One time, my mom actually called me at 5:45, and I didn't need to actually be up until about 7. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? And yeah, she's like, oh, I have this, big news to. It was serious news. That being said, nothing could be done at that particular moment, and it could have waited another few hours.
So many hours.
Somebody will be just as dying in a couple hours. As horrible as that sounds. It's...
You want to talk? Give me back my 5 extra minutes, Ash. I want my sleep.
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can be a more person too if I want to.
What's this all really about? You don't usually make calls around this hour.
Yeah, don't ever call me before like 10. Okay, 9. I'll make an exception.
Is the world ending today?
Oh, please let it end.
Sorry about that.
Are you still building
Becca rang me
guitars?
up a few minutes ago looking for Isabella. Said she didn't show up in her own apartment last night. We both tried calling, but her phone seems to be off.
Oh my God,
Do you have
Becca,
any idea
go
where?
away.
I should have known you two would come looking for her first thing in the morning.
That's so fucking nosy. Like, why should anyone know where I'm at 24/7? It's uncomfortable.
Not a laughing matter, Zach. You can't really let your guard down with everything that's happened here recently.
What?
You've heard about the Cooper one from the news. Everyone in the precinct has been restless ever since the incident the other day.
Yeah,
was
I get what you
smoky.
mean. Listen, Ash, about Bella.
Yep. I let my voice trail off, unsure of how to go about recounting last night. If I should even say anything to him. No, don't tell Ash. He's a fucking little squealer. He might be a close friend, but at the end of the day, whatever's bothering her ain't mine to speak of in the first place. Plus, he doesn't have all the facts, so... On the bed, Isabella remains very as still as when I transferred her the night before. Sometime during her sleep, she pulled up a blanket over herself and tucked into it comfortably. See, these are unnecessary details. Who gives a shit? Like this, it's easy to forget the horror in her eyes or how much her hands and lips trembled. Save for her firm grip on the edge of the covers, she appears nearly as normal as she would on any other day. Almost.
I'm not really sure how to go about this while being...
Zach, what about her?
Oh my god. Something, the worry, the concern must have surfaced in my tone because his own shifts then. Certainly as if he's preparing for the worst news.
Look, you don't have to worry about her. She's with me right now. Since last night, in fact.
Oh yeah.
Oh, why didn't you just say so earlier?
She kinda knocked in the middle of the night. I couldn't possibly wake you two over that.
So dumb.
And with how things are when she arrived, I thought it'd be best if I let her rest first. I just wasn't expecting people would be looking for her before the rooster even crows.
You could have at least called her something. Becca's beside herself with worry when she found out.
My god, shut up! Back up! Baby long wages war on Babylon. I got blazed. Ooh.
You know how much she frets about the smallest stuff.
Nobody cares what Becca has to say or what she worries about. She needs to mind her own fucking business.
I'm sorry. That was a lapse on my
Becca.
part. And I just didn't think... Okay, you know what? Rebecca's worries ain't completely baseless.
No!
Isabella hasn't been her usual self since the movie. Maybe even before that. I don't know if I should be opening my mouth about this, but Bella didn't outright say
Babylon
I
vanquishes
shouldn't, so...
the evil of Babylon.
So something's wrong then?
I'm not quite sure, to be completely honest. I couldn't get the story out of her.
War for war. Mind your fucking business.
Really? I thought you'd learned something from me by now.
That's not it. Ash, when she appeared at my doorstep last night, she was shaking, and when I tried to ask her about it, she just panicked. Had this frightened look on her face. I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
Tono, so scared and screaming.
First time? When was this?
Oh my god,
You
here
weren't
we
talking about the thing in
go.
the movie house, are you?
Oh
Because that was
god.
just us fooling around. Granted, I think I went overboard with the joke, but
Ah, dude.
No, it happened the day after. When she invited us to lunch, you weren't there.
Zach, you freaking
We were walking one
tattletale.
second, and then the next, she's crying out. I'll be straight with you. That scared me shitless.
It bothered him if the way he falls silent after his telling. But whatever his opinion is stays absent from his voice when he speaks again. He's always been good with that, hiding what he thinks.
did she say anything else?
He got a poker face, poker face.
Nothing. Won't tell me anything aside from a few vague words. I didn't want to push it.
Where is she? Is she still sleeping?
Yes, I ain't waking her up for
Right
this.
here with me, still sleeping. Should I wake her up or something? Let her know you guys are looking for her?
No need. Let her rest. I'll drop by in a few.
Today? Don't you have work at this time? I mean, I can drop her off home myself before meeting my client later.
Look who's talking.
My schedule's flexible, Ash. Last time I checked, you're the one who didn't have that luxury. How on earth do you think I'm able to tag along when you need me?
It's
This
not
is true.
completely out of the way.
They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition of out of the way is a little screwed up, you know.
It's fine. I have some things I need to do anyway.
You got so
good.
many people jumping in there and saying things to you.
Yeah, I'm talking.
I'll call you back. I've got to let Becca know that Scaredy Cat's fine.
Oh my
Bye.
god.
15 people.
Ash and Zach, there's a bunch of, like, they're basically Becca's bitches. They just do whatever she says.
I would.
I hate Becca!
I would do whatever.
Screw Becca! He drops the call before I can even get a word in, and for several minutes after, I find myself simply listening to the rest of Luxborn as the rest of Luxborn. Yay, my slippers. Yay. Rouses. The increasing sound of passing traffic, the bustle of the nearby shops preparing for the day, and the growing clamor of the people while they go about their mourning. Not that the most soothing sounds to hear following a troubled night, but the routine puts me at ease nevertheless. What's come comforting what's safe, what I'm used to. Nearby, Isabella shish, but she doesn't wake, blissfully unaware as the city slowly stirs itself back to life. Dude, get some coffee going, get some eggs going.
I think somebody said something weird in your chat. And
Yeah.
you retracted it.
Yeah, it's a little.
Oh, I was like, no.
Yeah, so where it was wacky cracker. Was her night as restless as the one I had? Were her dreams as lucid? Well, if she wakes up screaming, I would assume they were lucid. In hushed movements like this, I envy her. Sorry, what? I my fucking eyes. And reasonable, probably a little unfair to say in light of last night. If only forgetting is as easy as breathing. Oh, see, even a game, stuff's contagious. Yawns are contagious. A small yawn escapes me when I rise from the couch to stretch. Luckily, the short conversation with Ass has effectively driven away any will to go back to bed. I still have a day to get through despite the powerful ghosts hanging around. Zach, what are you taking? Drugs! What are you taking? The orange bottle sitting at the edge of my table is reassuring against my palm. The instant I pick it up, the sterile odor of the capsule is equally so. Yet the weight they carry is something I'll never have gotten used to. Years ago, I'd spend minutes, heck, even hours staring at a single pill prior to taking it. Now it's just routine, a way to stave off the unwanted nightly visits. Although I don't think Dr. Navarro will be quite pleased if he ever finds out I'm relying on them again. I owe him a visit regardless, especially after missing our appointment on purpose and ignoring his calls for weeks. Yeah, don't ignore calls from your doctor. Not a good sign. Then you get labeled a difficult patient. Another sigh comes out, tired and weary, and then I pop the tablet into my mouth.
Zach? What time is it?
Whoops. The bottle on my hand hits the table with far more force than necessary. As much as I trust my friends, there's some things I'd rather keep to myself.
Morning, Bella. Did you sleep well?
Oh, it's contagious. So sorry. She answers a question with a long, drawn-out yawn. One reminiscent of a child. Chuckle managed to come out of my mouth at the sight. See, you don't have to fucking describe that he chuckled because he's fucking chuckling. Jesus. In the manner, it's easy to mistake her for someone too young for responsibilities. Oh, in this manner. Inexperienced and immature, even. Easy to forget she has thrust into the role of an adult earlier than her own. Earlier, her own dreams can afford to overlook how surprisingly observant she can be at times. Maybe not on the same level Ash exercises for his investigations or Rebecca needs for her own work. Rebecca deals with children. Whatever. Not trying to downplay her behavior, but still. She's used to dealing with children, and I feel like she treats everyone around her like a child, and it's really unattractive. But it's certainly enough to definitely put what she sees around on her canvas, as if the way her eyes flickers onto the table and my hand say something, it is that I won't be able to avoid the question this time.
Only a little. I don't remember how I ended up on the bed, though.
My doing. You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch, all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary. Sorry I stole your bed.
Oh, he's being a gentleman.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions? Not in this house. My nana would give me a tough scolding if I ever did that, I'm telling you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night.
Yeah. Midnight.
I wasn't really thinking when I did, and...
Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime.
Yeah, my house is a freaking mess, in case any friends want to pull that. My house is a mess, and all I have to give you is either a recliner or a love seat to sleep on. So, take a pick. As always possible, the dogs might jump on you.
Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot, I don't really mind. You might have less wiggle room if all four of us are present, considering the size of this place. But as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Oh my God.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another cursory glance over at the table, back to the bottle, holding every small piece of what keeps the bad memories at bay. The blood booming over Pa's heart. The horrified look on Ma's face as she watches him fall lifeless to the ground, and every ounce of spite seeping from the stranger's smile. You don't belong here. You... What? Oh, gee, I can't say that. That's rude. You blank don't belong here. Never stops, does it?
Well, you don't seem to be feeling well. Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
She makes a slight gesture with her head towards the bottle, asking a question without really asking. Subtly, having never been one of her... Subtlety has never been one of her greatest assets. But right now, even Ash would be a little amazed, if not for the loss of words at that. She has left it up to me whether I'll give her a response she wants to hear or not. Okay, I'm gonna save, because, like, I wanna... Like, a part of me wants to be honest about it, but, like, the other part, like, doesn't. Okay, does that help? Okay, alright, good with Bella. Yeah, and I'll just answer honestly. I mean, it is what it is. It's never easy, ain't it? Talking about your own problems, that is. Sorry. It will never be, not by a long shot. Not when I let it stay this way for so long. Jacob, I think the laundry's done. I realized that long ago when wounds are still fresh and the dreams are nightly occurrences. Can't force yourself to get better or more on to better or move on to better things. It is what normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact, but all the people I keep close in my life, she is probably one of the few people who perhaps I can trust with this. Yeah, just don't freaking go and squeal at Becca! I'll kill you! Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. That, along with this expecting too much out of her and giving too much of what I can. However, for all her shortcomings, I know she'll hear me out. And that's all I can ask for her.
My bad. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
Girl, I don't care what you take your pills for, you do you. Pills rattle lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always the small area closet to my closest to my laptop near the right hand. Within reach whenever, and a quiet reminder of what I shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it that? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's.
Jesus.
Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right? I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
Oh, jeez.
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago.
No.
Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
Well, he also has records to police reports.
If it's something you're having trouble saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
If you say so.
People are so dumb. She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, and her smile honest. As if this is just a simple talk between the two friends on a regular day. It is far from one, but her God, I'm sorry, my eyes. Unreserved air is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
And she does. Turns out her words, true to her word, she listens with the stories, when the story spills out of my mouth of Ma and Pa, that little old diner across the pond, and what it left me and what it left in me that day. I can't recall most of it now, my own actual account, jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have erased most of my recollection of the whole day incident, all except for one single moment in the kitchen. A ringing of gunshots are as vivid as it sounds that day. Even Ma's hysterical screaming the moment Pa's body hit the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. And the gunman, he was smiling. He was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he put a bullet in Pa's chest and Ma's head. I've heard stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. It's true. You just have to look different. People are crazy. I never believed until that moment.
Nan and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Ma and Pa were laid to rest. And we have a new home a continent away. I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me.
Aww.
They said something about the change of environment will be good for us. They had no idea the different kind of ghosts would follow me here.
Dude, I feel like you need to go back to New Jersey. And I kind of feel like, yeah, that's not how that works, but okay. I expected questions, mostly those bringing with childlike curiosity, and maybe there are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, lent her ears, and looked at me with no expressions or unnecessary judgment in her eyes. She appears wiser and older, like this, easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her younger siblings are lucky to have her. When I'm done and everything's been said, she wraps her arms around me. A bit awkward considering the gap in our heights, but it gets her sentiment across. It is difficult to answer this in if I'm even supposed to reciprocate the gesture given my earlier apprehension. She pulls away shortly with a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it's obviously better than what I imagined. What
are you not gonna say anything?
I mean, A, she's not Becca.
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
Not really. Other people have something to say after usually. And they're not necessarily nice either.
Why? Because he takes antidepressants,
Oh,
or anxiety meds?
Okay then, I won't. I can't think of something anyway. Sorry, I'm not very good with who else knows, by the way.
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too.
Don't
but-
tell Rebecca.
But not right now?
Yeah, don't tell Becca.
Yeah, not right now. When I'm ready. Like today.
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
Don't tell Becca.
I don't
tell
doubt she will.
Becca.
I'm more afraid of how she'll react after. One step at a time, yeah? Whew. Surprisingly, it feels good to get that one out my chest. I was a little afraid you'd be angrier. I didn't tell you earlier than today.
Hey, Jacob. 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 I think the laundry's done.
I'm not angry. I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected.
Okay, what does one look like when their parents have been viciously murdered? They're supposed to look like Batman? I'm Batman.
I suppose that's how it often is, isn't it? We all have our... what's the word Becca uses? Inner demons?
God.
But this is something personal to you. I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
That too. Well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add that. Not after last night.
Something passes in her face, brief, fleeting, and disappears right before I can recognize what it is.
You okay?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine.
Good?
What?
You good, girl?
Yes.
Got lots of people tweeting at you with brain holes? Oh, just a second. Just a second. This is brain hole.
Look, about last night... Never mind. This isn't a good time.
Candace Owens. Oh, okay. This is just me going around. Candace Owens is so obsessed with everyone's lives, and it's like, worry about your own business, for God's sakes. Good night, Emo. Looking on Twitter and it's like, Jesus Christ, everyone's going crazy. People be crazy. Never mind, this isn't a good time.
But don't lose sleep over this, alright? What's important is you got what you want to say out. And if you need me, I'll be here.
Yeah, don't lose sleep over your dead, murdered parents who were killed because of their race. Don't ever let racism keep you up at night. Gosh, she's so glim. It's not even funny. I should be relieved. Her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comfort in hearing those alone and knowing I have another person to rely on if things ever got bad. But somehow, I find myself worrying more for her instead. I'll make another attempt to get the story out of her if I can, but this is a dance I know all too well, and with her, I doubt forcing her to say something would yield any results. As much as I want to imitate Ash, there's only so much I can ask that won't result in something a little over disastrous. At least she'll stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, well, I'd rather not risk. I've never seen her angry. Outright annoyed, maybe, and often directed at Ash, but never furious. What do they say again about... What do they say again about happiest people when angered? Besides, it would be unfair to her after our little chat.
So, food then?
She seemed relieved at the brisk change of subject. Hello, Mandy and Caesar. As if it has been simply waiting for its cue all this time, her stomach rumbles at the mention of food. Rather loudly, as a matter of fact.
Alrighty, Missy. We're going to get some chow now. Better be quick, though. Can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
I want a bagel sandwich.
Don't make fun of me. I'm not
with
that hungry.
Cheese.
Maybe a little. I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
And now we have one starved stomach protesting. Sorry, it'll be nothing fancy, since I'm a little low on stocks. I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
I can make a quick run for you if you want.
Nah, I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe.
Bagel sandwich.
I could always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here. Also, didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing? Or just Rebecca rubbing off on you?
Filipino thing? The soft laughter that comes from her doesn't quite reach her eyes. Neither. The answer is neither. Because if she stays idle, she'll remember.
On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham.
Gross.
You up for that?
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about?
Yes.
I'll have you know, I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
Paella.
Sure you can. Come on. I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients.
Isn't that paella? I think it's paella. Despite the massive effort to keep the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Between us, like constant clapping of the knife against the board, and the muffled notes from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual. We have moments like this before, but definitely unnerving with how things are now. What is it? You said it! It's there! The thing! I really wish someone else would come knocking at the door. Don't wish that, it'll be Ash. As pleasant as this is, breaking the ice or keeping a conversation going has never been my forte. That has always been Isabella or Rebecca's department. Sometimes Ash, although mostly coming from his boarder? Or awkward or embarrassing. Speaking of the guy, he never did call back, and I'm willing to bet my entire year's salary that he fell right back to sleep after the call. Oh shit, that's him.
Sorry, Bella. Could you...
Yep, I got it. The potatoes are almost ready, by the way. I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though. Hold on, I'll be right there. Sheesh, wait up. If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down. Ash.
Oh, good. You're awake.
See? Fucking Ash. Ash has already welcomed himself in when I take my eyes away from the oven. He's never been really keen with the notion of courtesies after he warms up to you. This guy. Game or no? This is a game called The Letter. It is basically like one of those graphic novels games, and they spend an absurd amount of time talking about food. This is actually there were some spooky parts earlier, and now it's not so spooky. Long story short, the gal on the right found a letter in a haunted mansion, and then you follow other characters who are currently living in the mansion, and spooky things are happening around there, and then she faced a spooky thing at her office, and now she's here at her friend's apartment. They're talking about food again. He's a good fellow, though. Maybe a tad bit standoffish at first glance, but he's trustworthy.
Don't you have work today?
Get out of here.
I could ask the same of you.
Get out of here.
Hey, Izzy, man.
Don't call me that.
You're late. Something came up? You need to drop the Z-Man. It's getting old.
Sorry. I got caught with something at the precinct on the way here. Had to attend to that first before things got out of hand. I'd tell you about it, but you know how it can be with those kinds of things. Later, maybe.
And you're here because...
What? I'm not allowed to say hello?
No. Get out.
I doubt you're here because of that. And you're not answering my question.
Ah, my bad. Forgot to mention that. He called earlier looking for you. Rebecca's worried because you didn't come home last night.
No, why
You
does
could have
Becca
called my cell
care?
instead.
You weren't picking up. Anyway, I'd really hate to cut this little get-together short, but I need to be somewhere else.
Why are you even
Come
here?
on, Isabella. Let's get you home. I'll drop you off on the way.
Wait, we're going now?
We need food. He lightly clasps a hand on her arm and begins ushering her out of the apartment, throwing a casual wave at me as they pass. Isabella, on the other hand, doesn't appear too fond of the idea, and sure enough, before they can even get across the threshold, she puts a firm foot down. The force alone enough to halt them both and catch the taller man off guard. It would have made for a funny picture. The way Ash, oh god, sorry, my contacts. The way Ash almost crashes into her, and Isabel is giving him an indignant pout over her shoulder. Surprise and confusion are in his face fell at once. Two things that rarely ever grace it if he could help it. Dude, like, she needs to eat. Like, why are you being like this? Like, she's probably closer to her office at this point. Like, just drop her off at her office. She don't need to go home. A rare moment even for our small group. If only I had my camera with me. Dang.
What is it?
Zach cooked something.
If it's just food, I'll get you something on the way back.
But the food! It's Zach's cooking! Real delicious food that actually tastes like food. At least stay and have a bite, please. Zach, help me here!
Be like, I made it for Bella. Like, fuck you, Ash. These two. Whenever they are in the same room, sometimes it feels like herding a group of unruly kids instead of talking to two mature adults. One movement, they're engaged in pleasant chit-chat, and the next, they're bickering over a minor issue. Frankly, if I don't know any better, and I have overactive imagination. I say there's something going on. Ooh. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh my god, are we ever like not gonna like talk about food? Never mind how utterly impossible the idea is. Or it should be me reading too much into things, like always. I can already hear Ash's laughter if I so much as suggest such. Okay. I'm gonna go with I cook up a feast.
I don't know about you two, but I think you guys should really stay. I've already made enough food for all of us, and it'd be a waste.
Ash is mad or whatever. Whatever, I don't care. Just stay and eat.
Why, I cooked up that special honey glazed ham you two keep on yapping about. Got some scalloped potatoes with onions and cheddar to go with it, too.
Okay. This is not breakfast. Just make some freaking hash browns. Why is this an issue? I shot the two of them an apologetic looks before sauntering over the kitchen, mittens in hand. Oh no, the ham must be burning. Ah! I want the ham to be safe. The sweet smell of the glaze and salty tang of melted cheese wafts through the air as soon as it opens the door and takes out the two trays inside. My god, seriously. All I do is fucking talk about food. The scent immediately fills the entire room, and even with the door and windows open, the mouth-watering aroma lingers. It's appealing enough that when I put the dishes down on the counter, another starved stomach protests loudly by a burst of laughter. My head snaps up at the two of them and can barely keep back the smile at the sight they make. Isabella is clinging to the front door frame for support. Oh my god. Doubled over with breathless laughter. What? Sometimes he forgets to eat too. Why is everyone making a big deal about this? I don't understand. I love Hush Baby. I love your corn for fucking delicious. Ash and the more composed of the two, trying to look unconcerned, but a flush over his but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. It's clear whoever's stomach that came from, and Isabel is not going to let him live this down.
You're in no place to reject an offer of free food, Frey.
I wasn't rejecting anything. Damn it, I just missed a meal, that's all.
See?
Aw, he's flustered.
Everyone's doing intermediate fasting, it happens. And then you forget the next meal. Happens to the best of us.
Shut it! Those guys at the precinct said it was urgent. Somebody has to be responsible for it.
For sure.
Well, aren't you precious?
Right. You know, if you keep laughing like that, you'll burst.
I'm sure it won't be as bad as your stomach suddenly rumbling like a starved.
Aye, kiddos, play nice. Food's gonna get cold if we keep this up.
No, it's not.
Ash, you gonna stay?
Might as well, since Scaredy Cat's so hell-bent on staying.
Dude, leave her alone. God, like this is like the weirdest. Oh, it's so funny. Us sitting here eating ham. We eventually settle down after the food has been served. The jibes replaced by another round of friendly chatter, mostly about what's on the news the night before. However, a continuous effort to avoid mentioning what's currently on the headlines. Whoops. That is never particularly a good topic to talk about over food and polite conversation. In this case particular. Side glances, like, talk about dead people all the time. Alright, Harvey, last corn for Shellfish I had the bigger piece. The wounds are too fresh too soon. I'd likely avoid it if I were in her position and someone I personally knew passed away in a gruesome manner like this. That's interesting. But then when they solve the murder, then you get to be on Dateline NBC. Though perhaps the closest thing to breaching the topic is when the infamous mansion is brought up again. But even then, we are careful, Ash and I. And keep the conversation light and avoid bringing up her late business partner is the least we could do.
The Wrights? Yeah, they're planning to move in soon. In fact, they already have a housewarming party planned. It's why they wanted us to rush the papers. They wanted to send the invitations out as soon as possible.
Oh, now I get it.
Get what?
Remember what I told you last night about the new clients?
Vaguely? Sorry. I was a little out of it yesterday. Was it the photo shoot?
Yep, it's actually for the one you sold. Ermine, something. When you put it that way, I suppose it makes sense why my boss wants me to prioritize the couple. They can have those documents rushed at just the snap of their fingers. Then they're more influential than I initially thought. Man, I guess my boss is expecting a lot more from this project than I expected. Hope I can live up to it.
Your photographs are more than good enough, Zach. You'd probably win an international award if you let yourself. Ma'am Hana's easy to please, too. As long as you're good at following instructions.
Easier said than done. Different clients have different tastes, after all.
This is true.
Still, a week? I don't think that's possible.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. They wanted everything finished at the earliest.
My God.
To be honest, it's not unheard of, but...
But it's still weird. Still weird, yeah?
A slip of the tongue. Still barely noticeable to someone who's already familiar with Ash's ways, yet in this moment it's impossible to miss. I shot him a curious glance, but he ignores it, rather pointedly.
I can't exactly say it's like that, where I'm just the middleman after all. As much as I want to comment on it, I only know what's on the surface, not the in and outs.
Fair.
It's just that BRC and my boss are more hands-on with the legal stuff this time, despite having a separate department dedicated to it.
Maybe Mr. Wright helped with it too. They have their own legal team for this, don't they?
Well, they should have one. Especially for a big property like this.
They have, but like I said, it's off our hands. Rose and I don't handle this stuff in the office. If anything, to me, this just means I'll be able to send the rest of the funds to Papa's treatment earlier.
I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Officially off our instant noodle diet, aren't we?
Ash, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny way of ruining the mood?
What? I was just saying. A few more months of stuffing your face with those, and I'm sure you'll start to look like a noodle cup. That's a pretty picture.
Dude, this is not how we win her over.
At least I don't live off convenience store food. Or make poor, unassuming pressure cookers explode.
This is fair.
What? How did you...
Becca, who else? She's a tattletale.
Come on, Zach.
Sorry.
Oh!
It just came up while we were cooking
Oh, it wasn't
earlier.
Becca, it was Zach. See? Zach can't be trusted. You
I'm
can't
impressed,
tell him
Ashton
things.
Frey. You even made it to the news.
A one-time thing. And it wasn't as big as you seem to be imagining.
Oh, sure. Let's all pretend that one time you almost set my apartment on fire didn't happen too.
Hey, that was an accident.
Sure.
You were making a salad, Ash.
Can we please move on to a different topic?
I want to know how that happened. He must have been like boiling eggs or something for it. What an idiot. It helps the casual talk, the harmless teasing. The mundane story is interesting enough to let time pass unnoticed. By the time lunch ends, like, okay, do these people just have days off? I guess this is a Sunday, technically. Whatever. By the time lunch ends, the shadows are no longer at forefront of my mind. If it's the same for Isabella, for whatever troubles her, I can never tell. The thing, the anxiety, the fear, they aren't easily seen, aren't easily forgotten after all.
You go on ahead. I've got a few things I need to ask Zach. I'll be downstairs in a minute.
Okay. Confusion briefly flashes in her eyes as she catches the keys he tossed over. But he doesn't give her an answer and waves for her to go ahead.
How sure are you I won't be driving away with your Shirley?
You don't even have a license. Do you even know how to?
Maybe.
Papa taught me how. I'm probably a better driver than you.
Oh no, in the UK, they drive on the wrong side
See
of
you
the road.
later, Zach. Thanks for the food.
Always has to have the last word, don't you?
Yes.
You're welcome. I'll send you the recipe for the potatoes tonight.
Oh my god. Whatever. A grin on the back of her. A grin is back on her face when she leaves and closes the door behind her. For a little while after we're left alone, Ash goes wholly quiet, listening, waiting for her remaining footsteps in the hall to fade. The earlier amusement is gone from his face, replaced by what I can only describe as trepidation. I know that look all too well. Oh god, what is he gonna ask me? When he's like this, he's expecting shit about to go down at some point soon.
That wasn't very nice, Ash. What was that with Isabella earlier? You're usually subtler with your questions.
They hired you.
Hired me who? Don't change the subject yet. What's really going on here?
The Wrights. Luke and Hannah Wright. You said your next gig is with them.
Is that what this is all about?
Just be careful around them. You have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to that couple. I'd rather you stay as far away from them as possible, but you're already here. Isabella's their real estate agent. Seriously, of all the people in Luxburn.
Okay. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
I would say I'd be careful with Luke. Hannah, I think, is harmless. Or at least she pretends to be dumb. I guess that's the best way to put it. I ask her, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Hey, sweetie. No, there's no more corn fritters. Go away. I mean, you can stay up here, but, like, I know you're just gonna go for the blueberry bourbon sauce, and you can't have it. Most often, he fumbles with what he wants to say, but his actions alone are enough to tell me how grateful he is for the trust. He reaches for the knob as soon as he gets to the door, but doesn't turn it. Instead, he looks back and gestures with his hand towards the table. I don't need to follow the line of sight to know what he's going to ask about. He's likely take notice of from the moment he entered the room.
You back on those? I haven't seen you taking them in a year.
Yeah, I kinda had to. It got worse after the film fest. The dreams, that is. I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon.
Heard about that. Don't drop it, though. You don't want Becca scolding you. She actually enjoyed the movie you made, and she's hard to please. Consider that a small victory.
Ew.
You don't have to tell me. She already did. Rebecca and Bella both gave me an earful after I said the opposite. Promised them I wouldn't, but you can never tell. Hopefully, once I feel better, I'll be able to think about it properly.
Yes, do tell, Mr. Zachary.
Speaking of Bella, she didn't open up to me, but maybe with you and Rebecca.
No, don't open up. Don't open up! Don't tell them your secrets!
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll talk to her.
Don't tell her
Thanks.
Secrets.
That's all I'm asking.
She's a whore and she tells everyone. Sorry. That's just me being a bitch. I just hate Becca. The time when he reaches for the door, he lets it close fully behind him without glancing back. A mild draft sweeps into the room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers on the nearby fridge. A lone note flutters by my feet, the letter on the surface glaring at me with mute intensity. Ermengarde Mansion, H. Wright, 11 a.m. After Ash's warnings, they all hold a different meaning now. Okay, so he went the next day. Oh. A woofy woof, a woofy woof, a woofy woof. God, this song's fucking annoying. I'm sorry. I just had to do that Noom thing. Anyway, the next 2 days rushed by in a blur, altogether leaving a collective mess of work suddenly piling up, and new unexpected acquaintances or friends, despite how you look at it, really. Either way, I'm still developing these photos, and at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by the overeager art director. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision and knows what he wants to, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes.
Doesn't matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
Aw. There's nothing new in it, of course. For years of working for freelance photographer, it's something simply I've gotten used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do good work, and cash in some late hours if need be. Rinse and repeat. It certainly takes a while to get some footing on the field, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run as long as you keep at it. Give enough time, you might end up with big names on your client list. Names like the Wrights in particular. Oh, come on. We hate Luke. We hate Luke. We hate him. Ew, girls, go away. I never did pay much attention to them, but it's virtually impossible not to hear about them when a local news channel or paper has something to say on their name. A party here, an acquisition there. Sometimes it's a new business venture, other times it's the everyday gossip that typically follows people like them. Not in a million years did I ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. I hate Luke. And between that and the fuss that comes with it, it leaves me no time to ponder over what happened to Isabel or why Ash is so adamant we keep away from this pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
You did you even meet Luke? Oh wait, yeah, you did. You met him at the... He was very rude. He's so rude. Why would you even think, oh, they're good people? Hana's a good person, a little klutzy, a little dumb. But yeah, no, Luke is not a good person. Sure, there was a rumor around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal. But just like every gossip blown out of proportion by the media, nothing came of it, and eventually it simply died down. Sorry, just refilling my drink. I'm trying to cut back on the alcohol, so I haven't drank this week, so it's fine. It's fine. Much is definitely left to be said for her husband, but I doubt a woman like Ms. Wright would pick him if he doesn't have any good points at all. I think those good points have since died. Ms. Wright, Hannah herself, though. Oh, she ain't particularly bad the way the press makes her out to be. Tabloids are all wrong about her for sure. For someone born with a silver spoon in her mouth, well, she ain't exactly what I was expecting. Among other things, the newfound friendship is what I least expected from her, but here we are. Although with a life as public as the Wrights, no wonder it's the woman who often gets the crappy end of the stick. Yep, you know what they say. Women and people that look like us. Oy. Although I'm the trifecta because I've got like a woman or a biological woman and brown skin. Don't always go great. I can't help. I don't scratch that. Just ignore I said that. I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a real nice person when given the chance. Heck, she might even ended up with friends with Rebecca and Isabel if they weren't living worlds apart. Probably. Nobody needs to be friends with Becca. I hate Becca. The beat quickly pulls me back before thoughts travel any further. One practical notion, I carefully place the wet print I'm holding in a drying rack and amble over my makeshift dark room to get the last of the photos from the water bath. Inside the converted broom closet, the film processor lets out another soft clack before going on its standby mode. At its mouth, a long photo sits on top of the tray, barely visible with the lack of light. It's the last one tonight for the set, and Ms. Wright requested. I don't usually make that a habit, giving away my stuff, that is. It's bad for business, no matter how well intent or generous you are. The exception, however, she did treat me well and was a pleasant companion all throughout the shoot. Sorry. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Ms. Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. And maybe it's just me, but someone who has everything at the palm of their hands, all the money in the world, a loving husband and a plenty big mansion to call home, she's lonely. She doesn't just appear like it. It shows, I think lovely, I guess. It shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her something. Sorry, I didn't care to read it. Always hidden behind the glamour of the world to never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like these help. A little reminder that the world can be kind too. I think it was lonely. Sorry. Water drips from the paper as I blindly pick it up and gently lay it against the tray, holding a decent amount of photo flow. A few words under the solution is all that's needed before it's ready for drying. No good, nothing this last one, even if it's my body aching, screaming for some decent snooze. Good Lord, this keeps going. My hand fumbles with the light, moving towards it with familiarity while I fish for a spongy along with a mess of tools on a drawer with the other. The bulb flickers twice before its glow settles and casts a soft light in the tiny space. When I glance back down, a spurred squeegee in hand, ready to finish the process and finally call it a night.
What on earth?
Oh, so spooky. Her head is gone. blurred and distorted beyond further recognition. Oh, God. The area completely smudged over, leaving no trace of the same sweet smile the good woman carried in all the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
A common mistake to make, of course, if one is neglecting enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, like I apparently did. This happened before, lots of times actually, but I still can't help but feel a small pang of frustration over one mistake a newbie would likely make. With a sigh, I reach up for the switch again, intending to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
Ooh, sell it. My memory clicks. One cursory thought. Curiously? Thought of the sea of many, and a short yet distinct second from the day before. A glimpse of all I got, but it's enough to burn the image in my mind. There was a shadow. A woman. In her 20s, early 30s maybe? But with how far her flesh alone has become, how far gone her flesh has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. The skin itself has already taken a sticky pale color, rotten in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Both hands grip Hana's neck like a noose, staining the skin underneath in a vibrant shade of scarlet. Ouch. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes.
Zachary?
Not for me, but for Ms. Wright.
Zach? Is something the matter?
Nope.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
So loud. So loud. The memory alone is enough to make me retch. I brushed it off then, and a trick of the eye, I told myself, of a product of the heat, or a product of the heat. The weather has been unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for stuff to happen. Oh well, blaming this on the usual, fatigue, an overworked brain, the weather, or an amateur error on my part, is far more convenient. It makes a whole lot of sense than what the small voice inside my head whispers. The same tiny voice that only makes itself known when something's afoul, the same one that let a curious ear to Isabel's worries about the matter. And with every second I spend staring at the photo, the murmurs in my head only grow louder against my ears. I don't know. Let's save. I kind of want to show the photo of Ash. Did it change? Ash will give me flack for this. He will. I can already hear what he's gonna say about the moment I bring it up. Hell, before he even sees anything, I'll wager. The guy is a skeptic through and through. And it'll take more than my account for him to even consider this. I don't know why it would matter if we even told Hannah. Cause like, what? I don't think she's gonna care. But when you've been there, seen something enough to raise the hairs on the back of your neck and leave you wanting to flee or hide what he thinks is the least of my concerns. I'm no hero. That's a title best reserved for someone else. Still, it's that if that's helping him change his mind, it's worth a try. Isabella's gone and done the same thing, didn't she? Outside, the sun is yet to rise. I've still got a few more hours before dawn, good enough to mull over how to go about this with plenty of space to check it if I get the same result if I redo the process again. The processor turns back to life at my touch. The light switch gives a soft click, and darkness embraces the small closet again.
Somehow those urban legends don't sound so silly now.
Spooky, okay. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it there because I'm fucking tired. Yeah, no. Thank you to everyone that listened and joined in. Appreciate it. We are still trying to get to our goal of 4,000 hours watched. Wouldn't that be fun? Anywho, don't forget to like and subscribe or Jay will surely die. And don't forget to subscribe to Lady Esper, that's Hannah's channel over on Twitch and YouTube. She plays cozy games, Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon, and does Overwatch and Final Fantasy. Also remember David's channel, that's Sort Games. He plays weird Japanese RPGs and has a great narration voice. He also is heavily into all the lore and little Easter eggs in Resident Evil, so he's always a blast to play with. He's currently finishing up, I believe, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and he had like 22 parts to it. But yeah, no, go and check his stuff out. And Gamer Hubbies, they start my friend Ben and Rich's channel. They play Final Fantasy, story-driven games, as well as RPGs. So if any of those sound up your alley, remember Hannah, David, and Ben and Rich's channels are over on our channel page. You can go and find the affiliate links there. So don't forget to be safe, wash your hands, and overall be good to each other, because we could all use a little bit more kindness in the world. And until we meet again, good night.